Every trip planner promises something personal and gives you the same top 10 list as everyone else. Ask an AI instead, and you get something personal. But half of it's invented, a restaurant that closed 2 years ago, a hotel that doesn't exist. We wanted both, real and yours. So every A I call in this app is grounded in something real first, and only gets creative with what's left. Behind this button, Google Places and Ticketmaster run in parallel to pull real spots and real dated events, and both feed into Claude, which is constrained to a JSON schema, so it can't hand back malformed output and can't invent a venue it wasn't given. The genuinely hard problem here wasn't the AI, it was the hotels. Stay22's geocoder puts Lisbon, Baixa Lisbon, and Alfama, Lisbon, all at the same point, 5 kilometers from where your itinerary actually is. So, we stopped trusting the city name and instead anchor hotel search on the center of mass of your own itinerary's real spots, with extra support from Google Places. Ratings are confidence weighted too. A 5-star hotel with 3 reviews shouldn't outrank a 9.2 with 400, so scores shrink toward the mean by review count. That's the actual engineering problem we solved on top of Stay22's API, not just a pass-through search. And every day gets 1 or 2 side quests, dares like find the best view in the city without paying for it. That's the one part of the app allowed to make things up. You're not locked into a static plan either. Tick whichever stops you actually care about, and the trip turns into a short narrated audio walkthrough of just those picks. Same 2-call split as everywhere else in this app. A language model writes the script from what you selected. 11 Labs speaks it. So, this itinerary isn't just something you read, it's something you can hand someone as a 30-second pitch for the trip. This is a separate Gemini Vision call reading the aesthetic of your photo. The trick is what it matches on. Mood words like sun-drenched basically never appear in a real hotel listing's name, so Gemini also pulls out concrete nouns, terrace, villa, loft, and those drive the actual search ranking. That's Gemini doing translation work between vibe and vocabulary, not just tagging. This is the part we're proudest of. Every photo you upload gets folded into one Gemini call, not one call per photo, so the captions read like they were written by the same person looking at the same trip, not N independent guesses. Each photo also gets its own tiny melody. That's 11 Labs' sound generation model, not a music model, just steered hard by the prompt, built from the photo's own caption. Generating a melody fresh on every hover would feel broken, so the first hover pays a 2-second generation cost, and every hover after is instant, cached both in the browser and at the edge. And when a photo goes, it doesn't just vanish, it burns. That's a CSS, keyframe particle burst. No canvas, no animation library, just staggered animation delay. 1 click and it becomes a narrated recap. Every narration feature in this app is 2 calls, never 1. A language model writes the script, 11 Labs speaks it. Same split you just saw back in Plan a Trip. So, a failure tells you exactly which half broke, and the words never come out garbled by the voice model. We just wired Auth0 into Supabase as a third-party auth provider, which is why the odd migration in our repo drops a foreign key. Third-party users don't get rows in Supabase's own user table, so the original schema would have rejected every real login. Auth works now. The traveler matching feature on top of it is what's next. There's also a Connect tab for meeting other solo travelers at your hotel. That one's still in progress. The sign-in infrastructure is built. The matching logic is next. 3 AI providers, each doing exactly one job. Claude writes the structured plan, Gemini handles vision, and some of the writing. 11 Labs makes every sound in this app. Speech, sound effects, and melodies, all from one endpoint, steered by prompt.
Let yourself drift back to the quiet magic of your journey. You began by losing yourself in a sea of crimson arches, finding a deep and comforting peace in the quiet moments of your
And Stay22 and Auth0 both got real engineering, not just an API key dropped in. Go for the trip, stay for the plot.